This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not career, financial, or legal advice. AI coding tools did not just make coding faster, they changed what entry level means. For years, junior developers learned by doing the first rung work, small tickets, bug fixes, boilerplate, simple features. The work that gave beginners practice is now the work AI handles first, so code by itself is no longer enough. The new AI skill stack is context, testing, debugging, deployment, security, workflow judgment, and ownership. The high-value AI worker is not the person who can generate the most code. It is the person who can turn messy AI output into a reliable system. Here's the part nobody teaches clearly. AI does not remove skill. It moves the skill. The visible skill used to be producing the artifact. Write the memo, build the spreadsheet, draft the email, analyze the transcript, make the slide. Now AI can create a first version of all of that, so the value moves to everything around the artifact. What should exist? What information matters? What can be trusted? Where does this fit in the workflow? Who approves it? What happens when it is wrong? That is the new stack, and most people are not learning it because it does not feel as exciting as a new tool demo, but it is where the money is going. Think about the people companies actually trust with AI. It is not always the person who knows the newest model name. It is the person who can walk into a messy department and say, here's the work, here's the waste, here's the risk, and here's the part AI can improve without breaking everything. That person becomes valuable fast because most organizations do not have an AI problem. They have a workflow problem wearing an AI costume. The first skill is domain judgment. That means you know enough about the work to tell good output from confident garbage. AI is dangerous when the user cannot grade the answer. A model can sound smart about sales, it can sound smart about medicine, it can sound smart about legal work, it can sound smart about finance, it can sound smart about code, but sounding smart is not the same as being right. The person with domain judgment knows what is missing. They know the edge cases, they know the customer language, they know the regulation, the workflow, the weird exception, the thing that breaks after 3 months. That is why the best AI operators are often not pure tool people. They are tool people plus domain people. If you do not know the work, AI gives you speed. If you know the work, AI gives you leverage. Here's an example. 2 people use AI to analyze customer complaints. The first person says, summarize these complaints. The second person knows the business. They separate product bugs from support confusion. They identify which complaints came from high-value customers. They flag the issues that create churn risk. They ask for source quotes, not just summaries. Same tool, different skill level. That is domain judgment. The second skill is workflow design. This is where beginners get stuck. They make a prompt, they get an output, they stop. But businesses do not run on isolated prompts. They run on repeatable workflows. Input comes from somewhere. It gets cleaned, it gets classified, it gets routed, it gets reviewed, it gets logged, it triggers the next step. That is where AI becomes valuable, not as a magic answer box, as a layer inside a process. The person who can map the workflow can see where AI belongs and where it does not. They can say, automate this part, keep a human here, add a review gate here, track this metric, escalate this exception. That is not prompt writing. That is system design for non-engineers. Here's the giveaway. If your AI workflow only works while you are personally babysitting it, you have a demo. If someone else can run it, review it, trust it, and improve it, you have an asset. That is the difference. A prompt is a moment. A workflow is a machine. The third skill is data taste. Bad inputs create expensive false confidence. People say AI is wrong, but half the time the real problem is that the inputs are sloppy. The source is outdated. The spreadsheet has duplicate records. The call transcript missed key words. The customer notes are biased. The knowledge base is full of old policies. Then the model produces an answer with perfect grammar and terrible assumptions. Data taste means you can look at the inputs and feel the risk. You know what needs cleaning. You know what needs context. You know what should never be summarized without a source. You know when a confidence score is theater. This is one of the least glamorous AI skills. It is also one of the most valuable, because the world is about to be flooded with polished nonsense. The winners will know how to separate signal from decoration. This is why sources matter. Screenshots matter. Version dates matter. Definitions matter. If the model says revenue is up from what? Compared to which period? Using which data? Clean answer, dirty input, bad decision. That is the danger. Data taste is the skill of slowing down exactly where everyone else gets impressed. The fourth skill is tool orchestration. No single model owns the whole workflow. One tool is better for research, one is better for writing, one is better for images, one is better for code, one is better for spreadsheets, one is better for automation. The new AI worker does not worship one tool. They build a tool chain. They know when to use a model, when to use a database, when to use a script, when to use a human review, and when to stop automating. That last part matters, when to stop, because not every problem needs an agent. Sometimes the premium move is a checklist, sometimes it is a dashboard, sometimes it is one clean automation with a human approval step. The skill is not using more AI. The skill is using the right right amount of AI, this is where a lot of agent hype gets people in trouble. They try to automate the whole job at once, then the workflow becomes fragile, expensive, and impossible to debug. The smarter move is usually smaller. Automate one decision, automate one handoff, automate one quality check, then measure it, then expand. That is how serious operators build. The fifth skill is accountability. This is the one people avoid. If you use AI to create something, you still own what ships, not the model, not the tool, not the prompt. You. That means you need checks, sources, version history, review steps, fallback plans, clear handoffs, and a simple answer to the question, what happens if this is wrong? That is the difference between playing with AI and operating with AI. Playing with AI is output, operating with AI is responsibility, and the market pays for responsibility. This is also why the best AI portfolios will not just show outputs, they will show controls. They will show what the system refuses to do. They will show where a human reviews the result. They will show how errors are caught. They will show how the workflow improves over time. Because the future is not just who can generate the most, it is who can be trusted with the output. So here's the roadmap. Pick one domain, not 10. 1, sales ops, hiring, real estate, customer support, finance admin, content operations, healthcare paperwork, something with messy, repeatable work. Then map one workflow from start to finish. What comes in, what decisions happen, what tools are used, what gets reviewed, what gets shipped. Then build a small AI-assisted version of that workflow. Document the before and after, time saved, errors reduced, quality improved, risk controlled. That artifact is more valuable than a folder full of random prompts because it proves you can turn AI into operations. Do that 3 times and you have a serious portfolio. One workflow for research, one workflow for operations, one workflow for decision support. You do not need to pretend you are an AI expert. You can show that you understand work. You can show that you understand tools. You can show that you understand risk, and that combination is rare. The AI skill stack replacing entry-level jobs is not a list of magic words. It is domain judgment, workflow design, data taste, tool orchestration, accountability. Learn those, and you are not just using AI. You are becoming the person who makes AI useful. Subscribe for more practical AI strategy, and I will see you in the next one.